definition of feminism is equality between men and women, if you look it up on Google. In this presentation, I'm going to prove to you that that in 2016 is not the case. There was a first wave of feminism, the suffragettes who campaigned for the vote and for equality, and then there was second wave feminism in around the 60s, campaigning for equality in sort of in domestic gender roles and things like that. So, and then recently there's been a third wave feminism, who have consistently lied about things. For example, the wage gap between men and women. That is a lie. 77 cents to the dollar is a lie. It doesn't take into account the different hours worked by men and women on average in jobs. It doesn't take into account the different jobs that men and women do. And it doesn't take into account many, many other factors. Once you factor all these in, it is statistically irrelevant. The wage gap. This is just one example of the lies that have been perpetrated by modern third wave feminism. They hate free speech. They don't like it when their opinions are challenged. They try to ban words like bossy. They try to ban things on Twitter. They try to ban people from having their opinion. They don't like other people's opinions. The imbalances on people have flipped. And feminism says that it's about equality, but I've never once seen a feminist campaign against the fact that on average women,
I ain't gonna lie, the feminist group move kind of sus. I ain't gonna lie.
But if it happens the other way around, it's 20 years. Surely if they're about equality, shouldn't it be the same for both genders? But gender imbalances include the massive suicide rate of men under 30. I've never heard a feminist or a third wave feminist once speak about how bad this is.
The feminist group be acting sus. They've been moving a little sus. I'm just saying.
Boy, that boy's a bit fags, and he's got some balls to do that in a school.
No, I'm just saying the feminist group. I'm not saying like every single one. I'm just saying the group, they're moving kind of sus. I'm just saying, like, you're saying these things. They be saying these things. I be seeing it. They be trying to say equality and stuff, but it's not what it looks like. They actually don't practice what they preach. Not all of them, but just a good amount of I don't care how he feels about it. I'm just saying how I see it. This is how I see it and stuff. All right, he can take it how it is, but I'm just saying, like, they're moving a little bit sus. Not saying he is. I'm saying they moving a little bit sus. The group in general.
If you challenge people's opinions, people start calling you hateful and saying.
I mean, like I said, I'm gonna keep my opinion, bro. Anyone can feel how they feel. I said what I said, bro. I'm not saying that everyone think. But take it how you leave it, bro. Take it how you want it.
Equality, then they'd also talk about male problems, but they don't. All they do is try and victimize women.
They don't, bro. They don't. And I understand the victimized women part. Like, women, they should be talked about and stuff about that. That's not good. That's what's happening to them. But like, what about the equality part? You know, you said one should be equal to the other to a degree, to a reasonable degree. So like, that should be the case. The concept is there, but the reality is not. He can disagree, agree, don't matter to me. I'm stating what's actually happening, bruh. Like I said, I always state what's actually happening. It's what everybody sees, not what I just see, bruh. Everyone sees that.
Do you see yourself as a feminist? Was the question.
No, Harry, I would not, because I don't believe. Well, I believe in equality, but I don't believe in feminism because I believe that that's not about equality.
Originally, feminism was created because there was an imbalance.
Yeah.
And originally, it was the imbalance between men and women.
This is the teacher.
The idea now is not feminism being an imbalance of gender, but being equality of all. You talk a lot about men versus women, but what about people who call themselves transgender? What about people that perhaps don't identify with a gender at all?
That is a completely different topic. The fuck is she on about? This boy speaks like a few.
How you gonna bring the LGBTQ in this when we just talk about feminists? We talking about feminists. The LGBTQ is not only just feminine people. It's literally all types. That's why it's trans and all that. The feminist is only feminists. Feminists, like feminist group is that group is mainly they try to have feminine people to what's called to support them, and other people can support, like, you know, men. There's a lot of men that try to support that as well. But feminist group to actually be in the group and lead it and stuff, like, come on now.
Future leader or some shit.
I'm not speaking nothing that's not
how this goes.
Everyone sees.
In relation to what?
What is she talking about?
Should be perceived Do they not count in the idea of feminism?
Well, no, because feminism, if you look up the definition, which if you ask a feminist, they'll always refer you to, is about the push for women's rights and equality between men and women.
Yeah. So it's not talking about the LGBTQ. It's just a specific gender. That's why it's called feminist group for the women. Yeah, people can support it, but the target is to help the women. So you talking about LGBTQ, putting them in this? What are you doing? Why are you trying to change the subject? Stay on the subject, goofy.
I wouldn't say that I battle for the rights of women. I would say I battle for the rights of equality.
Good for you. That's you personally. He's talking about it in general.
Like, how you gonna bring? Why are you adding things into the combo? It's so goofy, right?
And it's not about equality for people. It's about certain women making up lies so they get special privileges.
So when we talk about the shift of language and definitions, is it not fair to say that definitions shift and change depending on the need within society?
Well, just because you say you are something doesn't mean that that's what the movement is about. So I could say that I'm a radical jihadist. It doesn't mean that I'm a radical jihadist.
Nah, this kid's too good, man.
You can say that you're something, but the movement doesn't necessarily represent that. If you say that,
Facts.
if you say that you're about equality for all, most of feminism isn't about equality for all. It's about equality between men and women. That's what modern feminism is about. For example, with the wage
Like, bro, if you don't understand that, I'm sorry, bro. You brain dead.
they haven't. When they give you the wage gap statistics, 77 cents to the dollar, they don't mention other people who may not identify with the gender or people who identify themselves as trans.
So yeah, I'd say that there is equally a disparity between class systems. So if you are born into a certain class of family, your income equates to a certain amount.
She's changing it again.
How you're born.
And she's adding another thing. Weirdo individual right there. And that's a teacher. Man, that's sad, bro.
I
Sad.
think that is as much of an issue, if not more so, or less so, than gender inequality.
She's just pulling out questions out of her ass because he keeps scolding her. She doesn't know what to say. So now she's just pulling out questions out of her ass. And I'm not saying it's a bad question or not an interesting question, but it's got nothing to do with what he was talking about.
Well, that's.
She's
what
not
I'm talking
staying on the
about.
subject,
About
bruh.
gender inequality and how it's misrepresented by feminism because they're saying that they're for gender equality when they're actually not.
Okay, so what are your thoughts on inequality in general, including the class system?
Oh my
Well,
goodness, this teacher's goofy.
Ideally, I would like to eradicate all inequalities, but I'm not going to do that by calling myself a feminist.
Boom. Drop the mic.
Got him.
He smashed it, he hit the nail on the head, and he proved at the end that he's smarter than the teacher. She was asking him questions that had absolutely nothing to do with the presentation. And it's funny actually, because if you look back at the feminist movement, there was a lot of women that didn't even want it to happen. A lot of them didn't want to go to war and fight, they wanted to stay at home.
On top of that, how can we say we were disadvantaged before when we didn't have to fight in wars? The men were the ones that had to go fight in wars. We'll say my body, my choice all day, but we'll never talk about their body, their choice when they get drafted. Women, the majority of women didn't even want the right to vote because it came with the responsibility of getting drafted. So most girls are like, I'm gonna chill in the kitchen. And I absolutely would chill in the kitchen if that was the same thing today.
One of the things that frustrates me the most about modern feminism is the way that it kind of makes men feel like they shouldn't be men, or that masculine traits are toxic. Well, I'm here to tell you, fuck that, and to be proud of your masculinity and embrace it.
You want to be masculine? Do you, man? You don't want to? That's up to you, man. I remember when I did that.
All human beings should be treated equally. We don't treat people worse because of their gender. Most people know that these days. But feminism needs to be redefined because it's got completely twisted. Like the kid said at the start of the video, it's not about equality anymore, and if you can't see that,
get some help.
Indeed, like I said, you're brain dead if you can't see that, bro. And that's tough.